Hello, and welcome to an At Your End Steps special. We are here at Comic Town today. Some of you might know Comic Town, our lovely, wonderful sponsor. And we're here in the shop to actually do a Fate Reforged box opening. It's definitely exciting for us because I don't know about you, Mike, but I like opening packs.
Who doesn't like opening
I
packs?
wish I could walk out the door with them. Unfortunately, that's not the case.
It's all sealed and pretty.
I know. I can't wait to just.
Not for long, though.
No, not for long. So obviously, that's pretty exciting. Some really spectacular things. We have a pre-mending Walker in card form, and that's pretty awesome, and all that stuff. And flavorfully, it has a lot of implications and impacts going forward with what we'll see in Dragons of Tarkir even. So
not to mention after the pre-release this weekend, a lot of these cards are really fun to play with.
That's 100% true. So we know you guys like watching these box openings, so we're excited to actually bring it to you, and you can kind of see our faces. But I think that's pretty much enough. So let's go ahead and actually get started on this bad boy.
Okay. All right, so I got the honor of opening the first.
Yes, I lost the rock paper scissors unfortunately. So
all right, so I'm we're gonna slide this back a little bit, and we will lay out the cards here.
Yeah, we got folks.
Oh, it's so pretty. So lay it out this way here.
All right. Now, a comment that I think people might be kind of underestimating, but the removal is so bad in this format is actually Douse and Gloom for limited. I think a lot of people might pass by that card like I did maybe the first time, but opening my sealed pool in the pre-release, I really missed not having that card. So Monastery Sieges are rare for this pack. I think that's a pretty sweet card. It even has some modern implications. Really hurts the Black-Green X decks, and with the recent bannings of modern, that card could actually pick up, I think.
Yeah, I definitely saw it doesn't stop. A lot of those things are counter it unless you pay 2, which doesn't work against Broke Decay.
Well, but
this one says you can't cast it unless you have to pay 2 more. So I read the article saying 4 mana for Broke Decay. You feel a little bit better about that.
Yeah, most certainly. I've actually seen a lot of talk about this guy maybe seeing a bit of play in Standard as well. I mean, anything that makes double mana is kind of intriguing. So
it's true. Maybe once Caryatid's not in the format though, because Caryatid seems a lot better. It should be noted though that this is a 0/2 that doesn't have Defender.
Yeah.
Meaning if you pumped it in some way, it could attack. Which I definitely saw that happening. A couple times in the pre-release where somebody gave a +1/+1 counter and then was able to do a little bit of damage with it. So it's kind of cute.
Awesome. Well, I think this pack's pretty cool. Let's move on to the next one because I get to open it. All right. Put that over here and that over there. All right, let's crack a pack.
Morgan here doing little flippy hand tricks.
Oh yeah. Well, they can't see it. Yeah. They don't know I'm doing it. You got a sweet warrior token because everyone likes a slow roll. All right, so you guys can actually read them. I can read them just fine, but
yeah, just laying this out. So we're going to move past this pretty quickly in these packs, but it should be noted that these lands here, the basic slot in this set has been taken up by these common dual lands here. Also with a chance to open a fetch land, which means if you got a box like this, you have a chance of getting a little bit of awesome value in your basic land slot, essentially.
Oh yeah,
100%. But for drafting purposes, these are huge. There was important Dragon's Maze had that when they had gates in that slot. So.
Yeah, and potentially shock lands if you were ever so lucky. I don't think I was ever that lucky though. So our rare is Shamanic Revelation.
Shamanic?
Shaman? I don't know.
Shamanic.
But this is the buy box rare. Now, something Wizards has done previously with their buy box rares, they usually try to make them something that's going to be playable. I don't know if it kind of gets here with this card, but maybe it does. I mean, Rabble Master was the M15 buy box, and then for
a little bit more playable.
Little bit more playable. So we'll see if this one gets here.
I mean, you have those green decks in the format, and those decks probably wish they had something like Glimpse of Nature. I'm not comparing this card to Glimpse of Nature, but it is an engine card, which is interesting.
I also really like Sword Queen.
Big fan, actually.
Big fan.
I want to point out, common-wise, as you're talking about draft, Aven Surveyor is a card that overperformed over and over again in the format. It's an overcosted Mistraven. It's a creature that's a 2/2 for 5. You can bounce when it comes into play. But so much of this format is dictated by tempo. You're bouncing their morph creature that they spent so much mana in. If they flipped it up and then you bounce something they spent 8 mana on, and you only spent 5 mana and still have a flyer, you're sitting in a good situation. So it's cards like this that people, I think, tend to overlook sometimes. But when you're drafting, this card's gross.
Yeah,
So,
100%. Yeah, pretty sweet pack.
Typhoid Rats.
25 Reds, yes. It being back in the format, very exciting.
Makes cards like Gorswine release ahead.
Oh, yeah, no joke.
Your 1 mana Death Touch. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh, no.
So we got a cool Spirit Token here.
Oh, man, those Spirit tokens are awesome.
They are good. They're really good.
I thought I really liked the last Spirit tokens that they had in the set, and then they just were like, oh, here's another cool one.
Ooh, we got a Mythic.
Hey!
Mythic. They really like to take delve cards and make, like, as Mark Rosewater said, what pieces of power can we just make expensive delve cards?
Yeah, for some reason, yeah. So obviously Temporal Trespass, it is Time Walk that exiles itself, as most
Yeah, it takes a turn.
Time Walks do
Now,
these days.
Time Walk, though, costs 1 blue in a colorless. This one, even with fully delved,
Sure,
it's still
it's
costing
3.
you 3 blue.
Yeah, 3 blue. Not as powerful as something like Dig Through Time or Treasure Cruise, I don't think. I think there might have been some people like kind of blowing out of proportion. I don't know if it'll get as played as those other fantastic blue delve cards that are recently banned. We'll see play, but we'll see what happens.
I think it's exciting though,
Yeah.
and that, there's your formats like Commander and stuff. They are always happy to see another version of Time
Yeah.
Warp.
Well, and there is
printed.
even that modern deck, that modern Taking Turns
That is
deck.
true, the Walk of Eons deck.
Yeah, they'll take this card probably. I imagine maybe as a 1 of or 2 of or something like that.
Man, I'm going to keep pointing out blue.
Blue,
Draft comes.
well, I was going to point out this one too. So
That-
it's
that
another
card's
blue one.
insane,
Yeah.
too. Oh,
So
man.
Ethereal Ambush and Lotus Path Jin are 2 premier comments, I think. Now I see I've seen some starting out draft strategies, and they're saying that you want to draft opposing colors. So you'd want to draft black, white
Right.
in your Fate Reforged packs. So similarly, you would want to draft green, blue,
Oh, I don't disagree with that.
so that you have 2 cons you could potentially go into. So this is like a premier one for either, I think, if you want to go Sultai or if you want to go into Teamer. I think like that card's a house.
Yeah.
And I heard a lot of positive press about that card post pre-release.
That's awesome.
That's a lot of peace.
Also, a Battle Box card in here. This card has done sweet things with Battle Box.
Yes, it has.
Morgan got to do things like block with a creature, and then like this essentially gets flashed in for that creature. Oh, and look at that. Oh, the damage on it. Kill it.
Yeah.
Adorable.
Clone
Adorable.
Shell. Clone Shell's an awesome card in Battle Box. So
All right.
another sweet pack.
Your turn, Morgan.
All right, let's go. See, the hope is that we touch on all the sweet Hallmark commons, so that then we can just start looking at rares and not have to keep bugging you guys and slowing this down. I know you are just excited as us as opening these packs. Less excited.
We just like to talk.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man, we got another Mythic.
Oh yeah, you guys gotta wait for it though. I'm gonna
I gotta slow roll it.
Yeah. Because we got some sweet comments to talk about. At least 1 or 2. And boop. All right, yeah. So at least I want to talk about the Sultai Emissary. I think that guy is pretty handy. There is a subtle sacrifice sort of sub theme in this set, I think, and this guy makes the dream happen a lot of the times. So I really like this card. I don't know how broken or it could get.
I just think the 2-drops were so bad. If you drafted triple cons, the 2-drops people were taking like the Highland was a Highland Quarry or whatever, the 2/1 that gains 2 life when it dies, the green card. People were taking that card really high because they just needed 2-drops. This thing dies, maybe trades, and gives you another guy. It's great value. For a deck that wants to delve,
yeah,
seems awesome.
We like it.
Let's go to this Mythic.
Yeah, okay.
This card
So
is sweet.
this card, I think it has a lot of talk behind it, and we talked about it a lot on the cast. Obviously, it's Warden of the First Tree. It's interesting. So recently on Star City Games, there was a versus video where this card was a 3 of in a deck, and it did not look very good. I don't know. You can't really. I think it's an unfair comparison still to Figure Destiny. I think you would probably want to more compare it to Student of Warfare.
That's probably true.
It's in between those 2 cards. I don't know. I don't know if Abzan Aggro is going to be.
I think it fights
picking it up.
I think it fights with the Fleeceman Lion slot because it's a 3/3 for essentially 3. But the upside here for a deck, a couple people said like there's versions of the deck that run 25, 26 lands now, and it's kind of nice when your 1-drops off the top can just become obscene.
That's true.
Because unlike our Figure of Destiny, the last ability on this one doesn't stop. You can just keep adding counter after counter.
They keep on coming. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see where this lands when we see deck lists from DC come in, and we'll see what happens. I hope that it finds a home. I think it's a pretty sweet card. I have 1 of them, so
I've got 3 from the pre-releases. Humble Brags.
Oh no, MBT. I know who I'm borrowing them from at least. Jeez.
Ooh, I'm gonna put this one down. I don't think we've gotten a Manifest Shield yet.
No, I don't think we have.
All right, let's lay this one out here. I didn't look at the rare yet, so I'm going to find out.
man,
As the world turns.
Just as surprised.
All right, that's. To be honest, it's not as exciting, but it's okay.
No,
it's okay.
but we have sweet commons to talk about. So we obviously have the Saint Step Outcast. This card's a house unlimited.
All these molded cards are pretty interesting and pretty playable.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not Enoch Guide so much. That one's not very good.
That one's
Don't
a little,
pick that one.
Man, that was not my favorite, in all honesty. But I had like 2 to 3 of these in each of my pre-releases. They were always sweet. They're especially sweet with another card that we will eventually open that I want to talk about. So when I see it, I'll point it out.
So we'll talk about the rare Dragon Scale General. This is the white intro pack rare for this, illustrating Bolster. It's sort of I had this once. It's sort of awkward where it counts tapped things because it's wanting you to attack with weak creatures, but honestly, it's an engine. Like in draft, I think you're still taking this high, but I don't see this doing much.
Yeah, the only thing that I can say about it is like if you have evasive creatures, like if you have a lot of like cloud forms or spirit forms. That can get kind of gross because when you have like a lifelinking creature that's growing exponentially or a hexproof creature growing exponentially, that's pretty brutal. So that's the only thing I have to say because I died to that card doing that a lot. Did you want to talk about the manifest token?
So it's sort of if you look at this, if you see a morph token, the manifest and the morph they're pointing at each other. So lore wise, and I'm a big nerd for the lore. Manifest is Ugin's magic, or Planeswalker. You can start with your next pack and whatnot. So it's like this grayish color to match Ugin's colorless ability, and then like once Ugin's dead, the cons continue to use Manifest, and it becomes Morph, and it changes color. So it's kind of cool to see the effect of Ugin on the plane, even though he's been like dead for 1,200 years.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see like what we get in Dragons, whether we will see both or it'll just be straight Morph probably.
Morphifest?
Manamorph?
I read a lot of Manamorph books back in the day.
I think it's Animorph.
Oh, my bad. Those books are sweet.
Common misconception. All right, and then we have Big Daddy Dragon.
Oh man,
as our rare.
Oh man.
You guys know.
Oh man, I like how you put it directly on the Team or Battle Rage, which is essentially mimicking Atarka, the World Render. So all the dragons, there's a rare dragon cycle at common, and each one of them has an effect that says when a dragon attacks, do this. Okay,
sure.
And Atarka's is pretty powerful because he has trample already, and whenever a dragon attacks, that creature gains double strike.
Yeah.
Until a turn. That's disgusting because this is 12 damage by itself. Hard to stop it. Also better if you have other dragons, and it's strongly hinted that we will have many dragons coming forward.
Hopefully.
So this is a sweet bomb over the top. I died to this card a couple of times last weekend in the pre-release.
I almost died to it, but then I drew the removal spell off the top of my deck, and it was sweet.
So good.
All right.
So, but I want to say Teamer Battle Fury is pretty sweet because it gives you. This is the Teamer Dragon, quote unquote.
Teamer Dragon,
quote unquote.
Yeah.
So this is a creature taking its form, so to speak, and getting double strike and then possibly trample. Get it?
Because it's so angry. The
Teamer is so mad.
He's got some battle rage going on. I heard a lot of interesting things about Teamer Battle Rage, and that it's like a wombo combo with Become Events. So do that. That'll be sweet.
We got it for foily in here.
Ooh. I like foilies.
Who doesn't like foilies?
People who don't like curved cards a lot of the time.
All right.
Oh man, that's a sweet foil.
That is a sweet foil. For those of you who aren't aware, that's essentially a reprint of a card called Fleshbag Marauder, which is a pretty sweet foil on of its own. But this card is very, very good, and honestly, an effect that's missing in the form.
Yeah. Also, a fun fact, they could have actually just reprinted Fleshbag Marauder. It is a zombie warrior. So it would have fit flavorfully into the set. But,
maybe they did like the little surveys and people were like, we don't like fleshbags, they're gross.
It is a pretty disgusting art card.
Yeah, the art is literally a bag. I mean, if you could picture a bag of flesh, that's what it was.
Yeah, basically.
Rare here is Sage Eye Avengers, which, that's the blue intro rare?
I believe so, yes.
It works kind of like Skymark Rock, if you remember that card from Return to Ravnica, whereas when it attacks, you can bounce a creature that has less power than it, and it has prowess. So it's kind of this cute interaction where you could pump it, attack, bounce their guy. Too expensive for constructed, but a pretty good card in limited.
Yeah, 6 mana is a lot in this format because half your 6 mana spells actually cost 3 mana because you morph them.
Yeah, that's also true.
So that's a little bit awkward, but I still think if it's first pickable, it puts you in a pretty good option to go into other colors pretty easily.
Speaking of 6 mana spells, we also have a Cycle of Dragons and Uncommon here, which are all 6 mana 4/4s and do sweet things. The red one here, it's a pretty weak impression of Thundermaw Hellkite.
Yeah,
but it's got some sweet art. So
no, and to be honest, I had my opponent play one of these against me in the pre-release, and I had a bunch of X1s, and I was like, well, I can't let that hit me ever.
LOL, Intuit a Giant. We had that happen. They attacked. We didn't block. They double striked it, and all of our X2s died.
Wow,
disgusting.
Gross. That is not a thing that should happen, man.
It's not. It's not.
Man, that's.
So I think I'm winning on value so far because I opened the foil.
Shh. Probably. Probably. All right. Let's do this. Oh, man, why'd I have to open this card? You're going to...
Yeah.
Oh, but I opened a foil, so get wrecked.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man, best card in the set.
Card's the bane of my... It's going to be the cost of me buying many Chipotles.
There may be a burrito bet that exists solely based on this card right here.
Man, I wish we would open the other card that is also
Not good.
is also involved. So we already talked about the foily guy, so it's pretty sweet. Wild Slash has amazing effect for the limited format, but very much so I think needed in standard as well.
It's really scary how much a shock is exciting everyone, but I agree
Yeah,
with you.
it's unfortunate. All right, no one's like, but yeah, 2 damage to a creature or player is huge. Like the only closest thing we have to it in standard is Magma's Braid. It's only to a creature, but like not having just a completely dead card main deck against like a control matchup,
it's
is
gross.
huge. If you haven't already, pick up a playset of them while you can, because they're going to be like a $2 uncommon.
Which is hilarious because you probably have 50 shocks at home.
Yeah, it's all right. It's fine.
Our rare in this one is Dagatar, I guess, or daughter, the Adamant.
Probably not daughter.
I know. 4 mana, 4/4 gets 4+++ encounters, has vigilance, and okay body. Its ability is kind of interesting though, because for black and green hybrid and a colorless, you can move counters from anything to anything.
Correct. Well, creatures, right? Yeah.
Well, okay, creatures. I apologize. I mean any creature to any creature,
Yeah,
including
correct.
your opponent's creatures.
Yeah.
I already got to see this in limited happen, where like you have like these creatures like this that come in with a +1/+1 counter, and this guy's like, oh cool, well you block.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to take your creature's counter and put it here.
He takes their milkshake and he drinks it up.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
That's what it is.
does he bring all the boys to the yard? Is that
No,
what you're
that's
suggesting?
not the exact reference I was going for. But, no, interesting fact, don't flip him over if you've manifested him.
that is actually very upsetting because he will be a 0/0 and he will die very quickly.
Other fun fact is he combos pretty well with Alicia, who smiles at death.
That is true.
She can bring him back.
Alicia, who smiles at Dagatar.
Hey, boy, hey.
And ooh, I got another foil too.
Oh, man.
Mine's a rare.
Oh,
Oh, man.
no.
It's not value though, unfortunately.
Oh,
Unfortunate.
okay.
Ooh, okay, we got some cool stuff in this one though. Man, I love this rare. Shuyun, the Silent Tempest. I will be sleeving this card up for FNM this week.
Oh, man.
That is not even a joke. That card is going directly into Heroic for me and has already done some awesome work in testing.
Guess I gotta bring out my Crackling Doom.
It is a 3/2 with Prowess, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you can pay a white and a red or white and red hybrid to give another creature or to give any creature you control double strike. Double strike is very disgusting, especially when you're playing with instant spells, where this can turn into this is a Defiant Strike. This is 10 damage for 3 mana.
Yeah, it's
which
gross.
is gross.
Yeah, completely disgusting.
I like that card a lot.
Also, another card to talk about if you're talking about Blue-White Heroic is Valor Stance.
That card's also very good
Yeah.
in Heroic. Can actually finally kill some Siege Rhinos.
Yeah, that's awesome.
While also protecting our guys. Be able to get to play a couple main deck quote-unquote removal spells.
Removal spells, yeah.
Which that deck wasn't doing before.
Yeah, I definitely am looking up to pick a playset of these as well for Red-White. I might still be being Red-Whited because someone wrote an article that had an updated deck list and I kind of like it.
There you go.
The foil rare is just kind of Infiltrator. This is a wordy card.
Essentially, if you get attacks by itself and it gets in, and it can't be blocked, you get to manifest, and then you have to play this little shell game where you move the manifest around. And so the idea is that you can just keep hitting. LSV actually kind of liked this card. He said it's probably not probably going to be very popular, but any card that can represent getting 2 spells, he said out of control mirrors and stuff is pretty interesting.
Yeah. Now, Orc Sure Shot was the card I was talking about that comboed well with the Outcast.
That it does.
Because it makes 2 creatures.
Oh, you mean this? You mean this
Yeah,
little combo right here?
these are best friends. Also goes well with some comp cards like Whirling Outburst or Ponyback Rider. Gross. It's disgusting.
It's very good.
Yeah,
it's very good.
I really like this card. It truly impressed me during the pre-release. So.
Yeah, it was very good.
All right, get these out of the way. All right. Gotta have you start shuffling some cards your way so I can get to these packs faster. Just trying to slow me down. I see you.
I mean, maybe you're just slow. Have you ever considered that?
You know what? You don't tell me how I am.
I just did.
All right.
Now, something you should know as we're going through this, and once we start seeing, have you noticed? It's a very small set, and I think it's 165, 185. I'm sorry, minus
lands.
So it's not a very big set. Yeah. So when you open a box like this, you're gonna see a bunch of the similar things, and that's why in draft you're only going to use one pack of this consistently.
Right. Yeah, and it is weird because there are Fate Reforged lands, but you only got them in Ugin's.
You can get them in the fat pack.
Yeah, that as well. But
so the other half of the burrito bet for Jeskai Sage is Reality Shift, which Morgan said is better than Jeskai Sage. Pause for laughter. All right, good.
Listen, all right, we'll see what happens. That's all I'm saying. It could have been wrong. I don't know how to evaluate blue cards, as anyone who listens to the podcast knows. I'm sorry.
A card I really like, though, is Cloud Form. I was kind of high on this card. It was really good and limited, but it's an enchantment, and it's a cycle of these. When they come into play, they become auras. You manifest the top card of your library, and they are enchanting it. And this is flying in hexproof. I got to do some, like a Shu Yun, the card we just talked about, that blue creature. Definitely got to manifest that at a pre-release.
That's gross.
That card with hexproof, unbeatable.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
But in standard right now, we have a little thing called Scry, which allows you to manipulate the top of your library. And hexproof is shown to be broken consistently. So I think this is an interesting card to look at.
Yeah. Our rare is a Team of War Shaman. This is the one that you get to manifest when it enters the battlefield. So,
and when you flip up things, they get to fight.
Yeah.
I had this card really unimpressive, unfortunately.
Unfortunately?
I mean, it's fine.
Sucks.
It's a 4/5 that gets another body. It's fine, but it's not. It is not the Whisperwood Elemental.
No, it's not that.
It is not
rare.
that card, unfortunately.
That is pretty unfortunate. I don't know.
I'll start scooping my pack so we can go.
I super appreciate that.
All right.
That you would be so
All right.
thoughtful.
Ooh, we got another dragons.
Yeah. So the only uncommon that I still want to talk about is I really wanted to cast this card to see how good he was, if you could actually get him down without having to sacrifice anything.
I felt he was great.
Yeah?
And I think he's going to be really good in a full draft format where you have 2 packs of cons, because you could go morph into this creature.
That's hot.
And then go into your 5th turn being able to flip up your morph more than half, 90% of the time with a morph and not have to sack anything. It was also really good with manifest, because you have a cycle of cards that manifest for 2 to 3 or for 3 to 4 mana in here as well. So that card was very good.
Right.
Unfortunately, this card is terrible. So you're looking at 2 artifacts of uncommon. Never this, always this.
Always this. Our rare was the green-white legendary dragon, Dramoka.
Dramoka.
That sounds like a wonderful drink.
Dramoka shakes are delicious.
the eternal.
They bolster my stomach.
Yeah, do they? I can't disagree with you there. And then whenever a dragon you control attacks, bolster 2, which is super powerful, by the way. There's been plenty of times where it's just like, make my 1/1 a 3/3. Yeah, that's.
I cannot tell you how many times my opponent cast that while only having like typhoid rats in play, and it's just like, I don't want your typhoid rats to be bigger. They're disgusting. That's not good. Definitely, if you're ranking the dragons on playability, like any of the ones that are closer to this mana cost are much better.
Yeah.
So, not quite the red-black one, but hopefully we'll see. We'll take a look at him.
Well, maybe. I mean, I opened a bunch of them on the pre-release, so I feel it coming. All right. So I like how we're moving faster because there's a less interesting comments and uncomments. Oh, we got another mythic though.
Oh yeah.
It's
oh
the
yeah.
worst mythic.
Oh, I sadly like this card. I don't know how good it is, but I like the idea of the card. In limited, I think it's interesting. I think it's definitely good in limited.
I think it's.
I mean, if you get to manifest 3 creatures for 7 mana, I think you're doing well.
Yeah.
I think it's an EDH sweet card too.
Yeah, most certainly. Channel Harm is the uncommon. That's pretty awesome in this pack. I think this might be close to first pickable. It causes like
6 mana is so much though.
It is. It's so expensive, but it's so easy to get like a 2 to 3 to even like 4.
No, it is disgusting.
It's super easy to do that, and I can't tell you how many times like people will not play around this card.
Oh no, not at all.
And there's just a lot of interesting things that you can actually do with your mana anyway. So like leaving open 6 mana, like you should have other options for your mana on your turn. So I think that card's pretty gross.
Fair enough.
Let's move on.
All right. Oh, ghastly conscriptions.
Oh, I watched someone play that against someone, and it looked pretty gross. He had a lot of 2/2s on the board.
Oh man, Morgan, you're gonna like this one.
Oh, I hope so. All right.
Boom.
Oh man,
Alicia, who works at State Farm, is the best one that I have heard so far.
yeah.
There's a whole thing on. You should go on Twitter, and I think there's a Reddit one as well, all about different names for Alicia, who smiles at death. Alicia, who just can't even.
Yeah, Alicia who doesn't call back.
Alicia is really good though. She's a 3/2 first striker for 3, which just from a limited perspective, anything that has first strike in a format full of Morph and Manifest is disgusting.
Yeah.
But people are talking about standard applications. That body's still not terrible, and their ability is really, really good. When it attacks, you can pay a white and a black and a white and a black hybrid to return a creature with power 2 or less to the battlefield attacking. Power 2 or less is really important here because there's a couple cards in standard that are broken here, like Hornet Queen, which is a 2/2, but still gets it into the battlefield trigger, which is terrifying. And somebody's going to do it against me, and I'm going to be upset and happy at the same time.
I'm glad you did this. I'm not against me though.
I'm proud of you. We're not friends, but I'm proud of you.
Why me? Yeah, it's pretty brutal. Not being able to get through like a Corsair though, like this format seems to be like it's Corsair or bust. Like you have to have an option for that, and that's why Valor's Stance is so interesting because it gives the white decks.
God, does that kill Corsair too? So good.
Yeah, toughness, buddy. Let's take a look here.
So you're laying this out. Another really good common that is, I think, also like in effect that's consistently undervalued until it's way too late is Will of the Naga, which is like a Frost Breath, not quite Icy Blast, but tap 2 creatures they don't tap. This has Delve. That effect will just win games out of nowhere.
Yeah, I saw you do some work with it on the pre-release.
It's very good. People just don't think about it. And with Delve,
I definitely there's some implications with some Typhoid Rats here.
Oh, is that how that works?
That's the combo.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's pretty good. It's not bad.
So Arcbond essentially is a build your own wrath effect. It deals whenever a creature that you target with it is dealt damage this turn, it deals that damage to every target on the board, including you.
Yes.
And I definitely saw people just using it as a Wrath of God multiple times.
That's how how it happened to me. Everything just died, and I was very sad.
That's
what the card does.
One of my favorite cards in the entire set is in this pack, though.
Is it Pyrotechnics?
It's not.
Is it?
Are you really bad at this? It's Humble Defector.
I know.
My gosh.
I got to lead up to it.
It's a red card that says tap, draw 2 cards, and it's a 2/1, meaning it can also attack.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to give it to your opponent if you draw 2 cards.
Whatever.
I don't know. I think this card is like smell it? It smells broken.
Something's going to happen with that card. Someone's going to draw like 5 cards in a turn and then or more. And
the first person to combo out with that card and Ascendancy in play, Jeskai Ascendancy, is going to make someone very upset.
Also, I just want to touch on these. These are both this is a first pickable removal spell.
Oh, yeah.
And this is very good as well, since removal is really bad in limited format. Like, these two are premier red removal spells, 100%. This is a fixed Flame Slash that we've already,
probably
determined.
the best red common. Red overall is kind of weak in the set, minus the removal.
Right, yeah.
So. All right. Man, we still haven't seen a fetch yet, and that's upsetting.
I can't imagine them being very common. Like, I feel like you could open boxes and still not get one.
We got a good one on this one, though. Boom. Another Mythic. Man, this box is awesome.
Man, this is a hot box. Again, we get to keep these after this. Right? Brutal Horde Chief, man.
Man, our camera guy's getting so excited he's kicking tables.
Brutal Horde Chief, man, he is pretty brutal. Being able to control blocks is like a hugely powerful effect. We'll see if he finds a home.
Yeah.
He feels like he wants to go in a Mardu deck that has a lot of tokens. 100%.
Yes, things that attack.
Yes, yeah.
I definitely think that Hellrider, which is the comparison here, was a better card overall. But this one, Hellrider had 2 red in the cost, and this is 1 black in a format full of a lot of mana fixing. So it does feel like you want it to be Mardu, but there could be some other decks. Like it is very open. Obviously, its secondary casting cost is also a little with hybrid mana. It's not as restrictive as you might think, and is broken. So a card to keep your eye on. If it I've seen this as a card to watch. Like if it dips down price wise, maybe $10 probably too much. I think was the pre-release.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But man, if this card goes down even a little bit. I'm in.
Yeah, I think you snap it up. It's a mythic, and like it feels like you're taking these right.
You're trying to help.
I can't forget. I can't remember.
I can't forget.
I can't forget.
Interesting.
That's actually like my own self reaffirmation. Like I can't forget that you're helping. I apologize. All right, start to bust these bad boys out. Right into Being, I heard it was a pretty good all-star during the pre-release for a lot of people. Just being able to kind of pseudo draw 2 cards, it seemed to be like pretty okay.
Yeah, it's definitely not bad, and it's good with that artifact we talked about.
Yeah,
you curve your manifest. Interesting rare here.
A wild call, yeah. This one, it seems like if it's good, if it's going to be good, like it's going to be good.
Right.
But it feels, I don't know if it's there. Like, always having an on-curve creature per se is fine.
Yes.
I don't know if it's fine enough for standard. Again, if anything, if there's a deck that's going to break it, it's probably going to be a devotion deck, probably
Right.
Mono Green Devotion.
It should be noted it works really well with Courser.
It does.
Because you can either remove a really unnecessary card, you know what I mean, or like I've seen a lot of people talk about Hooded Hydra, which if you're a Hooded Hydra fan, Manifest is the effect for you.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you know what you're doing with it, it's a lot better. Like, oh well, I don't want to draw this land next turn. I know I'm getting time to wild call. I mean, or oh, I really want this Hydra to be wild called. Here we go. Like,
yeah.
So
yeah,
it's pretty.
Paying 2 green. I guess technically 4 green overall, but 2 green to manifest your Hooded Hydra seems pretty good. It's 5/5.
Seems
It's
fine.
5/5. Another card that we've been opening in packs is Collateral Damage, and we haven't talked about it yet. That card probably is a weird one. Like, I feel like you could draft it, and if you have a specific deck that goes with it, you'll probably be fine. But it can't fit into everything.
It's the deck that's playing a couple Humble Defectors.
Yeah. Sacrificing your creature is definitely a cost, more so than something like sacrificing a land that you saw with Shard Volley. So.
Right. Got another foil here.
Yeah.
Which is the Cycle of Rune Marks. We really didn't touch on. These have interesting effects. They give you, if you have off-color creatures in the right shard, so to speak, in the right con, you'll get an effect in addition to a +2/+2. But I'd be really careful of. There's a lot of random bounce effects, like here's Whiskaway right next to a Rune Mark.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of ways to get 2 for 1.
Yeah, you
in
feel
this
real
format.
bad, 100%. Like, but that's always been the case with auras. You always have to be careful with them.
It's true.
You can tell us about Mystery of the Unseen,
This is a really.
or Mystery of the Obscene.
It's mastery.
Mastery of the Obscene.
There
Mastery
you
of
go.
the Obscene is definitely a little.
This is a 2-mana enchantment that you get to pay 4 to manifest, and whenever you flip something up, it's a creature flipped up, you gain life equal to the number of creatures you control. Weird card. Was awesome and sealed, but after playing with it, I could see it making waves in standard. It's definitely a control card where you just have a ton of mana, but just turning every card in your library into a 2/2, like it's a really powerful clock.
I imagine at some point in time during the mirror match or something like that, you want that. You're like, I just actually need everything in my deck to be a 2/2.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Like, yeah, I don't need to draw land here. I need to draw 2/2s. Oh, I can make myself draw 2/2s.
Oh.
By the way, they have haste. Issue point. They don't actually have haste, but because you can do it at the end of your turn, it's definitely interesting. I had to come up with some. Oh, it's a creature. Oh, it gets to attack this turn.
Yeah, it's a permanent that's been on the battlefield. We got a good one for this one though.
Oh yeah. What do we got?
Flame Wing
Ooh, I'm a big fan of that card.
Yeah, I think we both are. Playing a lot of the red-white, the big Boros deck from last standard season, then playing with Chandra's Phoenix. We definitely like a 2/2 Phoenix for 3.
With recursion, no less.
Yeah,
Wouldn't be a Phoenix otherwise.
Correct. This card will definitely see play in something, whether it be a Mardu Shell or something like that. It's yet to be seen, but it's a powerful effect, and like just having a hasty 2/2 flyer that you can get back is super effective.
Evasion's always good.
Yes, 100%. We also have Frostwalker, which is the non-illusion illusion, there to give Teamer some ways to trigger Ferocious.
Nice.
If you're mainly in blue.
As you're scooping up here, I do want to mention Dragon Rage quickly. I think we've seen one already, but it's uncommon that it adds red to your mana pool for each attacking creature you control. There is a mythic in this set that allows you to get your spells back, Soulfire Grandmaster. Did you know if you have that? I think I was told it was 7 other creatures. It's an infinite combo.
Well, well then.
Which is adorable. Hey, we did it. We got value. Ready?
Oh, man.
That's a fetch land.
Woo!
There's some proof for you that this happens. By the way, if I open fetches, it's always Bloodstained Mire. This is my 7th or 8th I've opened out of a pack. So I want you to understand, I don't open any other fetches.
They just know. They just know you really want some Bloodstained Mires.
But we got an Archfiend of Depravity.
Depravity. Is this the Intropack?
It is the black Intropack.
We've almost opened all of them, so that's probably
That's
pretty
not
good.
surprising.
Yeah. I heard this card was awesome and limited.
It's really awesome limited. 5/4 flyer for 5 is always good. The effect happens at the end step of your opponent's turn, so they get a turn to draw and sort of deal with it. But if they can't, then they have to sacrifice all creatures but 2. It's kind of, if you remember, there's an old card called Porculus, which kind of worked like this, which is cute. I think actually a card that is really overlooked, and I played against it a couple times, and it was gross every single time, is actually this guy right here, the Azan Beastmaster.
This goes well with the 05 that pings you,
Yes.
Archer's Parapet. I'm going to draw a card every turn.
I think this is standard playable. We didn't even talk about it when we did the set review.
That's true.
But-
So the Triumph, the
Triumph of
enchantment.
Ferocity
Yeah,
is the
Triumph of
enchantment.
Ferocity is the enchantment. It is a weird body.
Like if you curve this into Courser, like they have to kill it, or you just get to draw 2 cards every turn. And the fact that it's already a 2/1 by itself, or if your opponent just doesn't have a creature, and a format full of tap lands.
Yeah.
This card I think is subtly powerful. Drawing cards for green is always good.
100%. Yeah.
That's a pretty good pack, though. I mean,
again,
an
yeah.
average rare, but a fetch land, so pretty good.
I keep forgetting that you're taking those away.
You asked.
I even
You
told
asked
myself.
for this. You asked for it.
I know. It's terrible. Sometimes I forget what I ask for. We have we'll laugh at the rare in this one, so just be prepared. As Scar would say,
Yep.
he would tell you to be prepared. What, liking reference?
Are we talking about like there's some goose stepping hyenas here? Like what are we doing?
Maybe, I don't know.
I would laugh at that rare.
Yeah. Crucible of the Spear Dragon is awesome in your
No.
Sign of the Ur Dragon.
Sign of the Ur Dragon,
commander
sure.
deck.
I guess.
Yes, this is the card you want. Oh man.
It's a storage land, which storage land just means like you tap to put counters on it at any time. You can remove those counters for X,
Yeah.
and this adds X mana to cast dragons.
Yeah, for your Dagron EDH deck. But everything else I think we talked about. So
Yeah.
except for butt fight. Grim Council is butt fight. So you pick 2 creatures when you control what your opponent controls, and they fight with their toughness.
Yes.
Hence butt fight. Good. Instant speed is still pretty good for.
You know what it's also good with?
Archer Spare Pet.
Typhoid Rat.
Also true. But I'm very good with Archer Spare Pet.
Also true.
Yeah.
I just want to point out how many things are great with Typhoid Rat's really the only good card in this.
Yeah,
set.
let's be fair. Like, you just want to draft the 22 Typhoid Rat deck.
Oh man,
and an 18
yes
hand.
you do. Oh my gosh, they won't start blocking until it's way too late. Like they don't realize what's going on.
They're like, oh, you can't have all Typhoid Rats. Oh wait. Also,
right.
you can't do that because there's not enough Typhoid Rats in the draft.
This is true. All right, so we have pretty much similar to what we were saying. I said these packs start to sort of mimic each other quickly. But our rare here is the green intro pack rare. So
Oh man, so we're saying what? White?
no, we saw white.
Blue.
No, we saw blue.
No.
Red.
Red.
It was the dash guy.
Oh, yeah.
So Sandstep Mastodon is a 5/5 that when it comes into play it bolsters 5, which is actually really gross because you can, if you have it set up so that you know you have a guy that can attack this turn, like most of the time your 7 drops, like they have to do something really, really good to, like unlimited even because it's 7 mana. But in this case, it's just like, it's a 5/5 that also says target creature gets a permanent +5/+5. And that creature can attack this turn.
Yeah.
Or you play it and you get a 10/10, which is great. It also randomly has reach. Which is
it's so big. The other card that I want to talk about
Go ahead.
is Enhanced Awareness. This is one of those things you can kind of hold up when you're trying to bluff the 6 mana white kill everything card basically. Again, like it's instant speed, which is really powerful, and like it helps fuel Delve if you have any of that deck, any of those cards in your deck.
any of that deck.
If you have any of that deck, you know.
Problem is, like I think it's close to standard playable. You won't see anything until Jason's Ingenuity's gone.
Oh,
but
no, yeah,
it's
Jason's
always nice
Ingenuity.
to see like instants and say draw 3 on them.
Yeah, 100%. We have a rare that we talked about a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
In this
Oh, yeah?
one.
What we got?
Yeah. It's not the
The
flame
anticipation is killing me.
I know. That's why I do it like this. 'Cause-
This card has Defender. I want to point that out because I did not know the first time I cast it.
oh yeah, the archers.
It's a 5/2 Defender reach. I was like, attack for 5, and my opponent was like, no, you can't do that.
We have another legendary dragon. We have a Kolaghan, the Storm's Fury. Now
Where'd the accent come from?
I don't know. I definitely had this guy both of my pre-releases, and he's pretty sweet. It made me really like the dash mechanic because I got to play around my opponents and hostilities he had in his deck, and I was like, oh, okay, woo! Comes back to my hand. All right. But he does have the other text of when a dragon attacks, all other creatures get
all your
creatures. All your
Oh yeah.
all
Okay,
your creatures get +0/+1 to under turn, so that's pretty sweet. Especially with dash, because you're just like, oh, you're dead. Look at all these 1/1 tokens are now. There are 2/1s. Woo.
Yeah, I think he's probably the most playable
Oh,
of that
100%.
cycle.
I've already
dragon.
seen him in a lot of decks, and I'm happy I have 2 of them.
Yeah,
already,
that's exciting.
I just want to say, like this, the Through the First Tree is not a good card, but the art on it is really nice.
You go ahead and scoop. I'm going to talk about that card.
Oh,
first.
yeah.
This
Please
Fire
do,
Adept
please
is
do.
a battle box card I pulled out, but this card I think is one of the best uncommons in the set. The first time a lot of people read this, they even thought like it gives itself flying. No, anything. So that card does a lot of work.
Yeah. I saw combos with this and Windstorm, which is pretty
Oh, there
gross.
you go. Give that guy flying, kill it.
You're dead, son.
Oh man, we haven't thought about Surfing Goblin yet.
Yeah.
Surf's up, bro.
Surfing USA, man.
Man. Okay, we got some dragon. Ooh, oh man, the absent advantage.
The absent advantage. I think we've pretty much opened all of these almost. We don't have a sad fat
We have not
dragon.
seen Sad Fat Dragon. This is true.
With no friends.
But here we have
Your guess is as best as ours.
Ojutai.
Can we call him OJ?
Okay. Fresh squeezed OJ, the Soul of Winter. This is sort of like a Frost Titan thing here. Flying Vigilance, and when it attacks, you can tap a creature and it doesn't tap. The Vigilance, though, here, like playing with that card in limited, like the fact that it can attack for 5, taps a guy down, and it gets to block as well. It's really, if you don't have a removal spell, it's really hard to beat.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Good.
Mardu Scout is the next thing I want to talk about. People have been saying that Mardu Scout helps the red devotion decks come back.
Those two symbols help. Yes.
That's correct. Yes, I don't know if that deck was.
I still think it's very good.
Yeah, it's
but,
real. Yeah, I don't think so. So if that was your hope and dream with this one, I don't think it's going to be there. But he's still good in just red aggressive decks, 100%. Being able to still commit to the board and attack and not play into wraths is huge for any kind of aggressive deck. So I think that he'll still see play, even if it's not in mono red devotion.
Red decks really like things like Hellspark Elemental.
Yeah, they do.
And that gets to keep doing its thing.
Yeah.
So shows me the light form is a really good uncommon in this set.
I do it a lot.
It's another manifest aura, but this one gives flying and lifelink, and that's in limited. It's probably even better than hexproof. So
Yeah, in all honesty.
probably close to a first pick as well. Granted, put you heavy into white, but I think it's okay.
We could probably get through this pack pretty quickly, depending on any sweet commons we open, which we've seen a lot of these already. Yeah. Well, we haven't seen this guy. He might make me talking about.
I still think it's interesting that cards like this. There's almost more things that say enchantments matter in this set than the whole last block that was called
Theros,
Enchantments Matter.
It's
I don't
weird.
understand.
It's definitely weird.
So Scroll of the Masters, interesting card. I definitely thought it worked differently than it actually does. So this one gets a counter on it whenever you play a non-creature spell. So it's like an artifact that has prowess.
Yes.
But it has a 3 activate ability that target creature gets +1/+1 at a turn for each counter on it. Most effects like this I've seen, they remove the counters, and that's what I assumed the first time I saw this. So I definitely saw this limited against me, and I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. But then just throughout the course of the game, it just sat there, and all of a sudden it had 5 counters on it, and they're like, attack. And I'm like, this is going to end badly for me. So
Yeah, you keep adding to the scroll, man. Just keep adding to
they
it.
just keep learning.
They keep learning. They know how to record their knowledge and power.
It's increments of +1/+1.
Correct.
Oh, man. Definitely only 1 fetch still. That's really sad.
It's not supposed to be common. It's supposed to be about the same rate as you would open Shocklands and Dragon's Maze, I imagine.
That makes sense. We have an interesting rare. This is actually the first one of these we opened, which is sort of surprising.
Oh yeah, the Siege cycle. So yeah, this is Palace Siege. This is gross in limited. That's all I know.
So actually, I don't think it's that good in limited. I had one in single player sealed, and it's too slow.
That might be true, but I mean, I heard tons of people just being like, "Yeah, I just died to Palace Siege."
2 at a giant, that happened a lot because all of the sieges say say each opponent,
each opponent.
and 2 at a giant, that means it triggers twice.
Gross.
So it's really disgusting.
Yeah,
but
that's sad.
This is a 5-man investment that doesn't do a lot. I think siege this siege would probably be popular in an EDH. But probably not. I think Citadel Siege is closer to constructive playable, where these ones are probably going to be locked out.
With Citadel Siege, Mardu Woeweeper is apparently the aggressive card that's going to help bring warriors back into the game. I don't know if that is actually the case, but having a 2/1 for 1 is always powerful, and in his effect, while being possibly small, is still impactful since there's a lot of graveyard decks that still exist. So.
As long as Whip is a deck, Mardu Woeweeper will at least get some value in the format.
100%. Got a foil here.
Ooh, is it something cool?
No.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man.
I guess we haven't mentioned Reach of Shadows yet. We've opened a couple, but
yeah, that's
sort of the premier black removal spell in this set. It's worded very specifically though, so it destroys a creature that's one or more colors, meaning you can't kill a morph creature or a manifested creature.
Yeah,
So.
and that definitely comes up more than you would care to.
Like you would think you'd be slamming as many of those as you grab, and I definitely had multiple times where I had more than I had 2 or 3, and I just played 1 because they're good, but other times they're not.
Yeah,
good
it's not as good as you think it is, which is unfortunate.
Got a sweet rare here though.
Yeah, Soul Flare.
Good.
So he has Delve, obviously, and then he gets a bunch of abilities if you delve a creature
Let's
that
see
has
here.
that ability.
So if you delve these guys, he has flying.
Yeah.
If you delve, oh man, you're not gonna help me in this pack, are you? Aha, here we go. Delve this guy. He's got trample. Does he get haste too?
Yeah.
Ooh, he got haste too.
Yeah.
Oh, so whatever. Oh, and reach. Defender, I hope not.
I don't think they put Defender on there, unfortunately.
It's an interesting use of Delve, because when it delves these creatures away, it mimics its abilities. It doesn't gain things like protections, but trample, hexproof, indestructible, lifelink, like. So the fact that you get a 4/4 for 2 black with full Delve is already pretty good.
Yeah.
And the fact that it could just get some value is just, and I love the art how it just keeps like growing like arms. It's just like oh, what'd you delve with? Oh, I get one of these and this and this.
Get all these spears.
Definitely a cool card, and a definitely a fun way to push the Delve design space.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got a better Delve rare though.
Oh man.
Wait, what am I doing?
No, wait a minute first.
Yeah, I'm gonna ruin
Let
it.
the people wait.
Boom. Oh man, Tassiger, the Golden Fang.
Oh man. See
This
how he has bananas here? It's 'cause this card is bananas.
it is bananas. BANANAS.
Yes, correct. Isn't it weird that as a society we cannot say bananas without wanting to instinctively spell it afterwards?
Yeah, I
Curse
really,
you, Gwen Stefani.
Yeah, I kind of hate that woman. It's unfortunate. So Tassiger is a 4/5 for 5 black and 5 colors and Delve. So the fact that Howling Man or Hooting or Howling Mandrills, whichever Hooting, my bad, Hoot, was already seen play in Standard.
Yes.
And is a 4/4 trample for the same cost with just green. So a 4/5 body, which could potentially cost you 1 mana, is already good. The fact that it has a very playable off-color ability, which essentially reads draw a card out of my graveyard that isn't a land,
Yeah.
is very good. So
I
I think
this card, the constructed resources set review did not mention this card. I think they are very wrong.
I think it should be pointed out that this card is one of the few cards that's gained a lot since its pre-order price.
Pre-orders started at 3.
And
I think it's up to 6 now.
And was it who was doing the review? Who does the reviews for Star City? The price reviews.
Ben Blue Ice.
Definitely was saying that he said I had Japanese players pre-ordering this at 40 at a time.
Yes.
He's like, and that should let you know something, because if they see there's something kind of bonkers here, then you might see some fun decks.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, I definitely have mine on the way, and I can't wait to get them and hopefully play with them in some persuasion. But
in your red white deck.
But I have options, sir. I have options.
That's what point like cards like, and I'm going to show like Tassiger, this cycle of off-color activations, like they're kind of neat. I like them. I really like them. So this pack we have Mob Rule, which is like an insurrection effect.
Yeah.
Where you take not all of your creatures, your opponent's creatures this time.
It's a bunch of angry monkeys because Tassiger stole their bananas.
Oh, look at that.
I have them for you right here.
Anyway, this one takes either 4 or greater or 3 or less, so you get the choice between like all of your morphs and manifests or all of the guys you've unmorphed and played afterwards. This is still probably winning the game. It's probably not doing anything else.
No, probably not.
Yeah, unfortunate.
And everything else in this pack you've pretty much seen before, so we'll just quickly move on.
Yeah, go ahead and scoop that reality shift up. It's where it belongs.
I mean, I really hope that this turns into a burrito and not money out of
man.
my pocket.
Oh man, I got really excited for a second. Saw foil land, but it was not to be. I actually don't think you can open a foil fetch.
No, I don't think you can now.
That's unfortunate.
Well, I mean, they're special anyway. You
Oh,
should
man.
be happy that you open a fetch at all.
We were just talking about this Bloodfell Caves art.
I know a lot of the alternate art, like Gainland, refuges, what have you,
Yeah.
are so good. They look so good.
So the idea is the ones we've already seen have been beaten down by time.
Right.
So these are when they're younger, prettier.
Yeah, exactly. Makes sense. This is Yasova Dragonclaw.
Yeah.
She's the con. She was one of the first cards that was actually spoiled.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. So everyone's seen her. A lot of people are making waves for red, green aggro, and her being a fixture in it. It's yet to be decided if that's the case. But I think she might have a home.
She's okay. Had her for pre-release, supported her out a lot, surprisingly.
Really?
The fact that they have to be less than her
Is unfortunate.
Is
yeah.
unfortunate. I will say though, she is one of the main characters of the last few pieces of lore. I'm forgetting. I always forget the type of the year's articles.
Uncharted Realms.
Yes, where she was helping Bolas.
Ooh.
And it was kind of cool. So they mentioned like her saber-tooth tiger, which is like a teamer thing at this time point, and Sarkhan turned into a dragon and terrified her, and it was pretty cool. So
enough.
it's cool to see her as part of the lore too.
Oh yeah.
Have we mentioned Battle Brawler yet?
No, I don't think we have.
Definitely a powerful uncommon. I think for constructed, the 2/2 for 2 is fine, but the fact that if you control a red or a white permanent, it gets +1/+0 and first strike. Seems very good, especially if there's going to be a...
Take a note of is if you do enchant him with the Abzan rune mark, it is gross. Because he is at that point in time, he becomes a 5/4 vigilant first striker. Blech.
Oh, is that beatable in this format?
No.
Oh.
Well, unless you like have, you know, obviously
any piece of removal.
permanent removal spells. But you know, whatever. We can live. We can live dreams. Our rare is so good in this pack.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Teasing me. Don't
It's
tease
so
me.
good. No.
Oh, what the? Jeez.
Slow. So good. I just want to get to it. Come on.
Oh man, this box is sweet.
Oh yeah. I want to reiterate. I think we should get all these. We're putting a lot of work here.
It's a tip, right? That's what it is?
Yeah, exactly.
Monastery Mentor. Oh man, I'm in love with this card.
Yeah, this card, I see a lot of people jamming him in decks I don't think he belongs in right now. A lot of like writers on various websites.
Can you blame them though? Look how great it is.
I understand, but man,
Put it everywhere.
This is Jess Guy. This is where this deck goes. I mean, obviously it's got the watermark. But,
Oh, it looks pretty good in Heroic too.
oh yeah, okay. So Heroic might be the other.
You're saying this is
so
one
like
deck?
two,
I don't understand.
2 out of the 3 colors. I don't think so. I think you
I
still want
think
to play
it will.
Rabble Master. I 100%
Can't
think
play
you,
both?
No, I think you don't have room. In all honesty, but
Well, okay, we're oogling it, but let's say what it does here. It has prowess by
Yeah,
itself,
obviously.
and then it has the cool young Pyromancer clause. Where
it makes these guys these sweet little monk tokens.
they have prowess. It's
They
actually
also
insane.
have prowess.
Whenever you play a non-creature spell, you get a 1/1 monk creature with prowess. The creature tokens have prowess. That means that this card just is obscene. It keeps growing and growing. 3 mana for a 2/2 is a lot different for a 2 mana for a 2/1, but this card is very, very powerful. In a bubble, it's very powerful.
100%. Yeah, I think this card, if it shows up, it's pure. It was like pre-ordering for $3. And like if it shows up as a 4 of an 8 deck, the top 8, it's not going to go down.
No, it's not.
I mean, this set's going to get opened a decent amount, I would imagine. But
The nice thing about this set is it will get drafted with twice essentially, like once with cons and once with dragons.
So it won't have the small set dilemma.
like a Dark Ascension or something.
Yeah,
like this.
exactly. But yeah, awesome card.
Moving right along. Surfing Goblin. Oh man, we got one we haven't seen yet here.
Yeah.
Do you have a token for that sitting over there too?
Yeah, I do. It's, Mardu Strike leader definitely makes these guys when he attacks. They aren't attacking, by the way. Some people might think that he makes them tapped and attacking, but they aren't. They just come into play.
It'd be really good for the dash ability to get 5 power.
Yeah,
attacking.
it'd be kind of gross. And he does have dash, so you can it actually is a more expensive dash cost because the effect is pretty powerful.
Right.
So I had this card in sealed, and it was pretty sweet. Being able to dash and just leave a guy behind was always awesome, and again works very well with the Orc Sure Shot.
That it does.
It's pretty awesome.
Should also be pointed out that card, at least in my dreamland, goes really well with Perforos.
Yeah, yes, 100%.
Or you dash this and get 2 triggers, and it comes back to your hand.
Oh
and
yeah,
do a little happy dance.
That's fantastic. Keep going here. We haven't talked about Harsh Sustenance. I had to open that card a lot during my pre-release, but never really played with it.
It's not good.
It always felt so swingy, and I saw a lot of people that did play it. And I was like, what if you just have nothing?
Yeah, you have to be ahead, and you have to also like not play it into tapped mana and just. Man, is it the 6th Mythic, this box?
No, this is a mythic. This is just a rare.
Oh, I thought that was a Mythic.
No, rather than Ancestors. So,
My bad. I'm really colorblind.
Fellow
So I got
castmate Dave Nolan thinks that there's a way to break this card in some fashion. I don't know if that is the case, but we'll see.
It's a pretty interesting card. Returning all these creatures, but they don't have haste, and they get exiled on the turn.
Yeah.
So, like Concordant Crossroads or a Mass Hysteria or something like this.
I don't know. We'll see
Or
what
they just
happens.
combo off.
Yeah, exactly. So I was, I don't know how exactly what happened, but there was that like a Humanimator deck a while ago.
It's true.
And all those cards are legal and modern, right? I think.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, sure. I don't know if you could do with that. I don't know if it's worth it. Probably isn't. Interesting card. Definitely, probably something that's going to be played in more of a casual way than a competitive way.
But it also the kind of card that somebody does break it.
It is dumb broke.
As Dave said, it exiles itself after you cast it. So like that should be noted that somebody figured out something that they could do with it.
Yeah, exactly.
In testing. All right, we got our second siege.
Yeah.
I think this siege is probably like I think Citadel. Is it which one's the blue one again?
Monastery.
Monastery, sorry. I think Monastery Siege is still the most playable, but Citadel Siege isn't that far behind. It can either tap an opponent's creature every combat step, or it can bolster 2 for you during your combat step.
Right.
The tap ability is obviously the much more powerful one. We had the the Azorius one that detained every turn for similar
Yes.
mana.
Martial law.
But people have already mentioned had this awkward time where they could do what they wanted with the creature, and it was weird. Or they could bounce whatever, so the tap might be better. Always an interesting card, but probably not too obscene.
Probably not. No, I wouldn't say so. Still pretty good limited though. I would
Very good. Also, again, good two-headed giant. You can tap 2 creatures.
Oh gosh, some of these cards. Two-headed giant is such a weird format.
I love that format. I don't know if you could tell so far, but I'm a big fan.
I wish
of
that I
format.
could. I do like that format as well. I didn't get to play any two-headed pre-releases this time around, but maybe next time, maybe for Dragons, then we'll get some two-headed pre-releases under my belt again because they do feel pretty good. Oh look, we did it. We did it. We got the Flame Strider.
Yeah, look at that. All of the intro
This
rares
is the
there.
intro pack, red rare. So it actually, when it attacks, makes a token of another creature. Another attacking creature. Things that it is gross with. It is gross with Ponyback Rider.
Yeah. Anything that has an enter
Enter
the battlefield
battlefield,
trigger
yes, outcast.
is very, very good.
It also has a dash ability, so you can have a very powerful effect if you have the cards for it. So, a really good card limited. In all honesty, like there's many times where like I just got blown out by it 100%.
Oh yeah, you can if you have this card, you can do some really powerful setups, and probably shouldn't lose if you get to attack with it.
No, not at all. And I played against a guy who definitely had it and set up the Ponyback Brigade combo both games.
This is my last pack because Morgan unfortunately gets the last.
Yeah, you got the first.
But I got a sweet rare. So
okay,
how's that?
Fine, fair enough. Hopefully mine is sweeter.
I hope so too, because mine is an Ugin, and I would like to see an Ugin. It isn't Ugin.
It isn't
Isn't,
Ugin.
unfortunately. But it has Ugin on the art.
It does.
And this is Crux of Fate.
Yeah, Crux of Fate is another one of those like gainers. Like the card is just casually like $6 now, and like if you didn't pre-order it, you're probably gonna lose a lot of money, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna get played, and it's gonna get played in more decks than people think. I think that even some of the whip decks will want to play a Wrath of some persuasion. Definitely Blue-Black Control will want to play a Wrath. It also makes dragons in general more powerful. So Stormbreath Dragon could see play, and I've actually considered playing some of the allied dragons just to have something to maybe board in if I'm going to be playing against that. So I don't know if that's accurate or correct, but this is 100% a powerful card, and I encourage people to invest in them right now.
Yeah, it should be noted that every time Black has had access to a Wrath, a Black control deck has been good.
Yes.
Damnation was great, but even something like Black Sun Zenith was like a Blue-Black control deck in that format was very, very good. So every time Black has access to this effect,
Yeah.
you got to watch out for them. I have been on the record saying Blue-Black Control is not a good deck, and I think that changes on Friday.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. We'll leave the last one for mystery. I don't even know what the rare is on this one, and we'll either have a awesome card or just a groan. So we'll see what happens here. Obviously, I think we've talked to death about all these commons and uncommons, though. They're all fairly. Oh, actually, I have an uncommon we haven't talked about, and I think it's really good.
There you go. Oh man, that card is good.
No.
Oh no.
Oh, hey, we got a twofer though. So
Man, I want to throw out here. This is a small set. These are our first doubles.
that's true.
That's pretty good. That's a really good box.
I think so. 100%.
We knew this box was like that for your entertainment.
Your entertainment. So we've already talked about both these cards, but Teamer Sabretooth is pretty gross in limited because it combos with everything manifest. So it's like, oh, I manifested this land that I really don't want. I really need a land. I don't need a 2/2. I'll bounce this and make my guy indestructible. That's fine. Oh, there's a really cool kill spell. I'll bounce it, make my guy indestructible, kill your creature. So yeah, this card's pretty gross. I would like to first pick this and see where it took me. But
Yeah, I
think
think that if we're talking about how, and there's not one in this pack, but like we talked about how the colors together are good. Like you want this and this card are so good together because if you manifest and you manifest spells, then you can bounce it for this guy. And you talked about being 2 colors in a deck.
Yeah, 2.
I agree. I think first picking that card will be fun.
Yeah, fun. I don't know if it's always right, but I think this card's super.
Well, if you're taking it over like a really good rare, it's probably wrong. But
Probably
because
wrong.
if you haven't noticed one thing, a lot of the rares, even the ones we would say, these aren't constructed player, they are really bomby and limited.
Yeah,
so
they're super powerful.
But that's our box.
Yeah, I think that the box itself was pretty sweet. No Ugins.
Unfortunate.
That's sad.
Unfortunate.
But monastery